we oftentimes criticize successful companies in the hunting industry. We always want to support the little guy, and we oftentimes throw our resources at the little guy, thinking, "Man, I'll support him. He seems like a good guy." And then that little guy does real well for himself, and he becomes a big guy, and all of a sudden that little guy isn't so cool anymore, and he's almost like villainized because he's become successful. I don't know why we do that. Maybe it's just like this romantic feeling that we want everybody to um, be not making money in our businesses and struggling, because that's how most businesses are ran, right? Most of them are unsuccessful, and it's some kind of a mental thing we have in our minds where if people are successful, we put them down. I had a really good conversation with a guy in my comment section, which can be a little bit shaky sometimes. Conversations in comment sections on YouTube, but this one wasn't. Me and him were going back and forth about a video I posted the other day. Joe Miles shot a really big buck down in Texas on one of his friend's ranch, and the guy had concerns about whatever it was. I can't even remember now. It wasn't that important about hunting over bait piles or going down there and using a guy's ranch to test products, to test gear, make sure it was working right, wasn't noisy and all that stuff whenever you got a whole bunch of whitetails in front of you. And that's kind of what Joe was doing down there. One of his purposes. I'm sure he wanted to go hunting too, but that was one of his purposes. And the conversation kind of led to us talking about if hunting companies are critical for the success of deer hunters. And we have this attitude sometimes that like anybody that makes money off of deer hunting is a bad person. And it's like, yeah, man, if that doesn't happen, there are, in my opinion, and I want you guys to comment below and let me know what you think. If people aren't making money off deer hunting stops. If the state isn't making money off of it, if we don't have hunting companies making money off of it, it stops. And a lot of times we criticize people like YouTubers, this is not a blanket statement of every YouTuber, but we criticize YouTubers that are doing bad things, and there's definitely YouTubers that do bad things. I 100% see that, and I see your point, but not all of them are. And then we also criticize certain companies for doing things that maybe aren't real ethical, but like some of them aren't doing that. And then we also criticize like organizations that are trying to maybe promote public land hunting, or are trying to like help certain species like the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, NWTF, and like I don't know a lot about those organizations, but I'm sure not all of them are bad. I'm sure there are some bad apples, and we focus so tightly on the bad apples that the guys that are doing good work get kind of get lumped into these bad apples. And it's kind of a shame that we do that. So, do we actually need hunting companies? Well, man, a lot of times if you're not a hunting company and you make like clothing, let's say, it's not a secret that like you don't necessarily need camouflage. But a lot of these clothing companies that we wear that are not hunting companies, like a lot of them are like known anti-hunting companies. I'm not going to name them off here, but like there's a lot of hiking companies. There's a lot of like big name brand companies you see in Walmart. They are very much against hunting, and they don't outwardly promote it. So like we have these companies inside of the hunting industry that are hunting specific, and they are deer hunters, or they're whatever, name your favorite hunting, whatever you like to hunt. Like they do that, and they have some kind of passion for that. They wanted to, so oftentimes they see a problem in the market and they want to solve that problem, so they create some type of a product. And whenever they're starting off, we're all like, hoorah, you go get 'em, man, you small guy that isn't going to affect much. But as soon as they're successful, oh, wait, whoa, you're making money now. You're making too much money. You're too successful. You're getting opportunities that I don't have. I don't like it. And it's like, well, we need some good hunting companies in our world that can spend money on conservation. They have a bigger outreach to maybe support some efforts that we need supported in the hunting world. And without those companies, oftentimes, like us as individuals, don't really have the pool that some of these bigger companies do. There was a big outrage back in the day for Under Armour. Under Armour, I don't know exactly what happened with the Bomars, but Josh Bomar killed a bear with a spear. He was sponsored by Under Armour Hunting. Anyways, they dropped him for reasons outside of hunting. They obviously, their main business is sporting clothing, whatever they make, sportwear. They dropped the Bomars because of that, because they had they were losing all this business on the sports side of things. And from what I understood, their hunting product company was a very small portion of the business, if not a negative in their business. It was more of a passion project for them, as they were both the founders of the company were deer hunters. And man, we tore down that company like bad in the hunting industry. And it's like, I get why you would be mad about that. Like, it's not cool to maybe drop a hunter because of something they did legally. Whether you agree with what Josh and Sarah Bomar do or not, that's up to you to decide. But we as hunters tear that big company down that was a supporter of hunting, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, dang it, man, why did they have to do that? I don't know, but we need hunting companies that are big names that can help us as hunters, make moves that we need to make in this world that we live in now, in this political world, in the society that we live in. And without them, I don't know, man, it might be a tough road to haul. What do you think in the comment section? Do you see this as a problem? Am I overthinking this stuff? To me, I just think that we oftentimes have a bad problem about being jealous of successful people. And when they are small people that are struggling, we like to support them. But as soon as they're like awesome, they've done a great job, they've achieved a goal that they set to, it's like, screw you now, man. What happened to that little small guy that I was supporting? Anyway, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And I invite you guys, if you'd like to, the subscribe button's right there. I'd really appreciate you subscribing here. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and we're getting close. There's another video over here if you want to watch that too. I don't know why that bubble always pops up.